squared to the 4th power. Okay, so this is what we went over yesterday, just basic properties of exponents. So I'm going to call on you guys and we're going to work on this together. Jonathan was not here. Ruby.
Yes.
So if you would pick A, B, or C, and we'll do that one together.
Oh, A.
All right, so when we have A, we are multiplying at exponential expressions with the same base. What do we do with these powers?
So we add them?
Yeah, so what is 3 plus 6?
9.
Yeah, so we're going to have A to the 9th. Thank you. Perfect, Ruby. All right, Stephanie Martinez, are you here?
Yeah.
All right, you can pick B or C.
B.
All right, so with B, do you remember what we do when we divide exponents with the same base? So when we multiplied, we added. So when we divide, what do you think we do?
Do we subtract?
Yeah. So I'm going to have X and I'm going to subtract the bottom from the top. So I should have 8 minus 2. And what should I get?
6.
Yeah, X to the 6th. Perfect, Stephanie. Thank you. Henry, will you do part C with me?
Sure.
So when I have a power to a power, what do I do with them?
You multiply them?
Yep. What's 2 times 4?
8.
Perfect. All right. You guys are pros at this. What questions do you guys have before we move on? Anybody have any questions? Okay, if you're embarrassed and want to send me a message with a question, that's totally fine too. Just go ahead and do that. All right, so that was our warm up for today. Now I want to talk about this remediation assignment to fix your zeros. So remediation assignment. So I kind of yelled at you guys yesterday because your grades are terrible, except for 3 of you. It's because y'all just haven't done your work. There are missing assignments everywhere. You guys blew past deadlines, didn't even look at when assignments were due. And assignments, as stated by the district and Parkland, are to be turned in within a week of the assignment date. So all of the assignments that are from over a week ago are already closed and you can't go back and do them. So this makes a big issue for those of you who have pretty much done nothing this semester. The quarter is about to end, and I am not very inclined to open up I think we have like 40 assignments for you guys to redo and then regrade all of those for those of you who have not done work, which is the majority of you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a remediation assignment, okay? This assignment is going to consist of old exam questions from Unit 1. Okay, I'm going to break these questions up into sections. So maybe I'll have a section on domain and range. I'll have a section on piecewise functions. I'll have a section on even and odd functions. Okay, and etc. for most of the topics that we've covered so far this quarter. Now, what I'm going to do is if you do all the problems in a particular section and show you your work, you must show your work, all of it. Okay, so if you do all the problems in a particular section, show your work and get them correct, then I will replace the zeros that are in the domain and range section of our practice assignments. Okay, I'll either choose the practice assignments or homework to replace. Okay, I'm not going to do both because you guys need to have some sort of consequence for not doing your work. I'm not going to give you 100 for the quarter for going through the last minute and trying to get stuff done. Okay. So these will replace the zeros for like one of your assignments in the domain and range section. Okay. This would replace one of your zeros in the piecewise function section. Okay. So there will be a couple of problems and they will be assigned to replace a particular amount of zeros. I will note on the document which assignment they will replace zeros for. Okay, you will turn in, all of this will be on one document. So I only have to look at one thing to regrade. Okay, and you will submit this all at once and it will be due before, and this is really important, before the end of Q1, quarter one. That was really bad handwriting. I'm very sorry. Okay, so this will be due before the end of quarter one. If you submit this after quarter one, your zeros are staying the same. Okay, once I've done grades, I have done grades. So I wanted to give you guys an opportunity because I know that online learning is hard. I can't imagine doing 6, 5, how many classes do you have? 4 to 8 classes all at one time, online, with distractions, taking care of siblings, having your mom cook in the kitchen and talk to her friend while you're trying to do work. I know that it's hard for you guys, so I wanted to give you guys some sort of opportunity to replace zeros, but also we have to be held accountable for what we don't do. And also it's a ton of work for me just to reopen every single assignment we've done. Okay, does this sound good to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I will post this assignment in the next few days, and then you'll have till the end of the quarter to do it. Check the due date. Okay, the due date will be the last day you can turn it in. Okay, so don't blow by this due date. This is your second chance. Okay, so check the due date on it. Make sure you have it in by that time. You can just do all of this on notebook paper. Okay, so just write out, you don't have to write the problem. You do need to write the problem number and what section it's from. So write problem number and section. Okay, and in order to replace your entire zero, you need to do all of the problems in the section. Okay, so I hope that this helps your grades a lot. I'm rooting for you. I want you guys to do well. I want you to do much better than you're doing right now. And yes, so this will be a huge chunk. Your test is going to be a huge chunk, so make sure you study really hard and get that one done. And your quiz corrections is going to be a big chunk. Those are the 3 main parts of your grade. So please get those in. Okay, are there any questions before we move on and do actual class for today?
So we don't have to do this if we've turned everything in?
Right, if you turned everything in and you are good to go and you are happy with your grade, you do not have to do this. If you are for some reason unsatisfied with a grade that you got on an assignment, you could do, like, if you were unsatisfied with your domain and range grade, you can just do the domain and range section and turn that in. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, so if you did all of your work except for the piecewise function section, then just turn in the section for piecewise functions. If you did all of your work except for like piecewise functions and even and odd, then just do those 2 sections. Okay, So you don't have to do stuff that you've already completed work for.
I got
Okay.
another question.
Oh, go ahead.
So you said it will only count for a number of grades, right? So I mean for a number of assignments.
Right.
So for like how many assignments would it like?
So I'll probably either replace all of your practice quiz grades or all of your homework grades. So it'll be about half of them.
Okay, okay.
So the other half of your zeros are just, that's your consequence. That's what's gonna keep your accountability. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So unless there are more questions, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me let somebody in. Okay. And we are gonna go ahead and get started. So hopefully if you have a printer, you've already printed out notes. That's okay. Follow along on notebook paper. So this first activity or note thing is kind of a graphic organizer with like circles and things. Feel free to write that out. If you don't want to, if you would just want to like make it as notes, that's totally fine too. Okay, so we're talking about exponential growth and decay today. And so I want to, one thing you're going to have to do over and over again is you're going to have to change percent to decimals. And sometimes you'll have to change decimals to percents. Okay. When you're going from a percent to a decimal, you are going to divide by 100. When you go from a decimal to a percent, you're going to multiply by 100. Oops, I could spell out multiply. Multiply by 100. Okay. These equations are going to be in the form y equals a times b to the x power. This x is usually going to be your variable. The exponent, it's the x in the exponential spot. So you'll have numbers for a and b. Okay, what questions do you guys have so far? Okay. So there are two ways we can do these functions. We can have a growth function and we can have a decay function. Okay. Growth functions are going to look like y equals a times 1 plus r to the t. And decay functions are going to look like y equals a times 1 minus r to the t. So if you're taking these notes on notebook paper, it would be super easy just to make two columns, have a growth column and a decay column. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. When we have growth, our b value, the value that's right here, our base for the exponent, is going to be greater than 1. So that's growth. And that b value, notice it's the same as this 1 plus r value. Okay, so b is equal to 1 plus r for growth. And for decay, b is equal to 1 minus r. Okay, so for decay, your b value is going to be less than 1. Okay. All right. For growth, your b is 1 plus r. For decay, your b is 1 minus r. So I'm going to use a little example to kind of explain that b value a little bit more. So maybe we have y equals 24 times 1.18 to the t. Okay, maybe that's our growth function. This value right here is the b value. This value right here was our a value, and that's our initial population.